Hi, I am Rachel Robbins. I am a full-time nurse at Spring Valley Hospital. I work on the postpartum unit. I'm also a full-time mom, and I am a student at Grand Canyon University, and today I will be presenting my strategic goal for my unit, and it's very unit specific. We want to increase our breastfeeding rates and decrease our formula use. So in order to do that, we need to provide more resources for mom and baby and staff to help moms breastfeed. So we have a couple strengths. This is my SWOT analysis. We have a really positive energy on our team, and they always want to learn, and they're very helpful. There's a lot of teamwork and good team morale. Some of our weaknesses is that we don't have round-the-clock lactation consultants, which, as we know, babies can be born any time of the day or night. So if we had round-the-clock help, or if staff was trained, moms would have more support, and I think we'd see an increase in breastfeeding rates. Some of the opportunities is that there are free educational resources for nurses to help moms breastfeed, and this can actually help the nurses help moms breastfeed, but it also gives them credit because every 2 years we need a certain educational level of credits that we have to renew our license, so this could be an incentive for them. Some of the threats is that, of course, formula companies are always offering free formula for things for mom. So that could, impact their decision to breastfeed. And some mothers may not want to breastfeed at all, which is fine. But that will just obviously put a nail in the coffin for breastfeeding altogether. So we really need to educate moms and let them know why breastfeeding is important, and hopefully maybe we can sway their minds to breastfeed. So to accomplish our goal and increase our breastfeeding rates, we have a couple of financial performance goals. We want to increase the number of patients, because the more number of patients, the more that they'll give us lactation resources to help moms. For instance, if we have a low census day, they will actually cancel our lactation consultant for that day, which is not great for those moms, because if they need help breastfeeding and the staff doesn't have the knowledge to help them, then that may impact their decision to breastfeed. They may give up altogether. So we need that extra resource there. So we need to increase our patients so we can increase our ability to have a lactation consultant there. But then again, if we also educate our nurses, if we don't have a lactation consultant that day, the nurse can help them. So we need to, for customer service goals, we need to build an established relationship with these patients and these babies. So I think a level of confidence in their nurse, if they can see that their nurse is very knowledgeable on breastfeeding, this will help establish a relationship. Our internal business goals, we want to build a good relationship with our lactation consultants, our doctors, and our patients. So there's always new products out there, new techniques, so we need to keep up on that. Also, if we do get recognition by the World Health Organizations, we can earn a mother-baby friendly accreditation, which is big for hospitals. And that shows a lot to patients too. If they see that, oh, this is a mother-baby friendly hospital, I want to deliver that. That'll increase our patients hopefully coming in to deliver at our hospital. Learning and growth goals. We need to promote training for our nurses and education for breastfeeding. Before COVID started, we used to have actually classes before they delivered, which was great. Now that we're dealing with COVID, we're not able to have those classes, but I think once that is over, that's a great service we can offer to our patients. So we're going to use a focused differentiation strategy. This will allow us to focus on customer service, research breastfeeding techniques and educational tools, and encourage our staff to really teach our patients about breastfeeding. This also will help with marketing, production, finance, and human resources. Human resources can focus on training and new responsibilities. Employees that already possess qualifications, they can bring in more clientele for us and help other nurses. That would be great. Marketing, we can, offer like the classes once we're able to do that again. We can also put that on our brochures and social media. That's huge. We can also put that on there once we're able to do that. So breastfeeding can lower the cost of formula use, which would be great. It's also great for baby. There's less problems with the gut. They're not as constipated. There's just a lot of health aspects with breastfeeding that you'll get versus formula for mom and baby. They also get to bond, so that's a great thing. For decision making, we're going to use the classical model and evidence-based decision making. We're lucky because we have all the information we need on hand, and we kind of know what we can expect. So that's why we can use the classic model in our decision making. We can also use evidence-based decision making because breastfeeding has been around forever, and we can look at other hospitals and see how they did it and see how they used evidence-based decision making to help us, and we have evidence-based research on breastfeeding, so we can also make informed decisions when it comes to our patients. So the managers will need to delegate responsibilities, communicate their goals and expectations, give directions to employees, and evaluate the work that's being done. This will help reinforce our goals, keep employees on track, and hopefully we can keep communication open across the departments, because that'll help just overall with getting our goals done and keeping the team morale up. So leadership will play a big role in executing this. They should be visible. They should have open, honest communications. They should have defined roles for everyone, accountability, and human resources can kind of be on board to help execute this and define what our roles and what we're accountable for. Visible leadership can implore others to get on board with new goals. They can also be a resource and answer questions for staff. So how do we evaluate this? We are going to evaluate this by the feedback control model, because really we need feedback from staff, from patients, from doctors, because we really need to see how this is going, and that will give us the ability to establish our goals, establish our standards of practice, observe and measure our performances, adjust and change our actions, and see sometimes we may not have to do anything. Other times we may have to adjust our plan. I would also like to create a visual board for staff to see what goals are being met, what we're still working on. This keeps everybody on the same page, and it keeps our mission alive, and they can understand what's going on. So how do we measure breastfeeding? There are a few different scales. There's called the Latch Assessment Tool or the Mother-Baby Assessment Tool. This will actually measure positioning, sucking, rooting, all these little things, milk transfer. So that's how we will actually measure breastfeeding. But again, we need feedback from those moms. Are they having a positive experience? Are they having a negative experience? We need to know what's going on with moms and babies. And that will help us adjust maybe our attitudes, maybe how we approach things, because we want to make this a positive experience, because we have noticed with the positive experience an increase in breastfeeding. So that's my strategic goal. I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you for listening.